I'm very excited to have Don and Nancy Failla. They are networking icons that have developed a system that has allowed them to create a personal organization of 800,000 distributors and growing. And the most impressive part probably of that feat is the fact that literally all of those people can be traced back to an original 4 people. That's pretty amazing. Most of us on the line here can only hope to ever achieve having an organization of 800,000 and growing. And we're going to be fortunate enough to hear from Don and Nancy and their experience of not only how they did it, but how you can do it too, using the same system that they've used. What I like about Don and Nancy is they're not only talking the talk, they're walking the walk. They're not just telling you how to build a business. They've actually gone out and done it before. And so that's probably one of the most impressive things about this dynamic duo. They've been married for about 45 years now, coming up next week. So first, we're going to turn the time over to Don as he explains the system. Following that time, we're going to hear from Nancy. And then after Nancy, we're going to open it up to a little bit of question and answer. Without further ado, we welcome you to the call, and here is Mr. Don Failla.
Thank you, Paul, and we are excited to be here at Sound Concepts in the home office of where all of our materials are prepared and sent out all over the place. What I want to do today is teach you the system. Let me give you a little background. When we do seminars all over the world, I start off by asking people, when you sponsor a new person into your business, how much teaching time, how much talking time does it take you before your new person can actually sponsor someone? Can you teach them enough in 1 or 2 hours? Most people say no. How about 2 or 3 days? How about 3 or 4 weeks? How many of you have sponsored someone 3 months ago and they still haven't sponsored anybody? Well, you'd be amazed how many hands go up on that one. Then I simply say, how would you like to know why they have not sponsored anyone? The answer is so simple when you hear it. The reason they haven't sponsored anyone is because nobody taught them something that they can do. See, it's one thing if you can do it, but until you have something so simple that you can teach your people, and they can teach your people, et cetera, so you can duplicate, you're not going to grow. So with the system, you'll be able to take a brand new person and teach them in less than 10 minutes enough information so they can actually get started sponsoring and building a business. Now, before I get to the system, I want to give you a little bit of background information also. And this will help you with the people you can talk to about your business. Most people in network marketing, they want to lead in with their company or product first. Everybody thinks that their company is the hottest company and products on the planet. But here's the problem. Only 15% of the population are sick, hurt, or into health. And that breaks down to 8% into health. And anybody that would want to argue that point, I say, well, go measure the square footage of the health food stores in your town, then measure the square footage of the supermarkets, and you won't even have 8%. So if you are selling a hot health product and 8% is your market, you've now got to be very, very knowledgeable about what you have to sell. And, like I say, it's a very, very narrow market. And you've got competition with the health food stores and all the other networking companies that are all trying to get to that same 8%. Well, see, Nancy and I, our market is 100% because we don't teach our people to sell a health product or any product. What we do is we teach them to look for people who want something. Do you know anybody who wants something? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a new car, new boat, plane, more time with their children, new house. It doesn't matter. But they've got to want something. 95% of the people want something. The other 5%, they already have it. They have the time and the money, and they want to have the health. We wear a pin that says, own your life. and that's having the time, money, and health. And we say those people at the top make great customers. So virtually we have 100% of the market that we can talk to about what we're doing. And once we find someone who wants something, then all we have to do is take them through the system, which I'll get to in a little bit. I need to talk a little bit about salespeople. 5% of any population are the salespeople. 95% are the non-sales types. Well, obviously, you're going to build a huge organization working with the non-sales types. Most people in network marketing, because they really don't understand network marketing, they all want to go out after the salespeople. It's amazing how most people in our industry are looking for salespeople. And now listen careful to this. Historically, in our industry, the person who has the least chance of making it is a salesperson. Nancy, we got rich by teaching our people how to talk to the non-sales types, and there's no competition there because everybody else is tripping over themselves to the salespeople. Now, if you happen to be a salesperson, don't let this get you down, because the salesperson can be huge in our industry, but only under one condition only, and that is they are willing to take the time to learn this industry, because sales is not like network marketing. And if you have anything that you're doing when you're talking to people that would make a prospect think this has anything to do with selling, the prospect's going to run the other way. Salespeople like to recruit people. Now, see, their whole life they have been recruited by a sales manager to sell to the sales manager. So you recruit a salesperson into your organization, what they're thinking is, oh, I'm going to go out and recruit a bunch of people to sell for me. Well, see, they will never make it in the business doing that. We do not recruit people to sell for us. We sponsor people so we can go to work for them. See, it's not unusual for a salesperson to come in and over a period of 6 months to a year, literally recruit over 100 people. But then you look at their organization, and they aren't but 1 or 2 levels deep anywhere. So they have not duplicated themselves one time. See, our business, network marketing, is about duplication, and you're not duplicated in this business until the person you sponsor is 3 levels deep. When you've got that person you sponsored 3 levels deep, now you're duplicated. So when you're getting started in a business, you don't have to make a list of 100 names. That's a huge mistake. Person 10 years ago tried to do sales, and that's the first thing the sales manager told him, make a list of 100 names. Well, we're in network marketing. Why do you need a list of 100 names to sponsor one person? Usually a person's best friend. So it all starts off with sponsoring one, and then you teach the person you sponsor the system so that when they sponsor their people and it's appropriate, they can introduce them to you. We've been in the industry 43 years. We've never worked a lead, not necessary network marketing if you work the business the way we teach you, because when we sponsor someone, we meet their friends, and then we meet their friends. In fact, you can summarize what you need to do to be successful in network marketing into 2 simple sentences. You make a friend, that's of course if you don't have any, then you meet their friends. You make a friend, meet their friends. We have fun at the seminars with this because I tell people that you can program your mind for success when you go to bed at night. Down in Australia, they like to count the sheep. There's 60 million of them to count to get to sleep. You say, forget the sheep. Just put your head back in the pillow and say, I'm going to make a friend. I'm going to meet their friends. I'm going to make a friend. I'm going to meet their friends. Just keep doing that till you go to sleep. You do that for 1 week, your mind will be totally programmed for what you need to do to be successful in network marketing. Now, another thing we do at the seminars, I ask people, how many people have ever had someone tell you they don't have time to do this business? Well, they not only raise 1 hand, most of them raise 2 hands. That is the number one biggest excuse people have for not doing this business. I don't have time. But think about it. The way you're doing the business is why you get the excuse. You go spend an hour and a half in someone's home telling them all about your vehicle, your company, product, and marketing plan, and you're there for an hour and a half. They think if they get in the business, they're going to have to do what you're doing, and they say, I don't have time. You pick someone up at 7 o'clock, take them to the opportunity meeting at the hotel, get them home at 10 o'clock at night. They say, I really had a fun evening, but I don't have time. We never get the excuse because we do not take their time, because we use the system. And I want to do a couple analogies here, and then I'll get right into the system for you. Let's say that you had a Ferrari. You go over to your prospect's house and you show them your new Ferrari. You spend an hour and a half on it, and they get excited. Who wouldn't get excited about your hot vehicle? They go out the next day talking to what could be their best prospects. They get totally blown away because, first of all, they don't know how to properly approach the people. And second of all, they don't even understand the business they're in. It's amazing that 100% of the people in the world that are not in network marketing do not understand it. 80 to 90% of the people in network marketing don't understand it. And you'd be amazed to know how many owners of network marketing companies, they don't understand it. They put together a network marketing company, then they try to teach their people sales. So with the system, our philosophy is very simple. We teach the person how to drive first before we show them the vehicle. Now with the system, what it would be like is like if I handed you the keys to the vehicle, you can immediately get in, start going down the freeway, building your business from day one, and while you're doing that, you can slip in those CDs. You can learn all about your company, product, marketing plan, everything you need to know to build your business while you're building the business. The people who are not using the system and using the product vehicle approach, for them, what it's like is they have to lift up the hood of the vehicle, take the whole engine apart, and put it back together again before they can even talk to someone about their business. So let me go ahead now and get into the system. Let's say that you are having breakfast, lunch, dinner, coffee with a friend. I'm going to teach you the warm market first, the warm market approach. Then after I get through that, I'll tell you how you can use the system in the cold market. That's you meeting strangers. So you're with a friend in a restaurant, and you're about ready to leave. Always wait until you're about ready to leave, because if you start this too soon, you're going to get too many questions, and since you just started yesterday, you can't answer them. Okay, you're about ready to leave the restaurant. Simply ask your friend, do you know anyone who likes to travel and go on vacation? Now, I want you to notice that I didn't ask them if they like to travel and go on vacation. I asked them if they knew anyone. They always say yes. I've never, ever got a no to that question. If I got a no, I'd be done, because why would I want to sponsor someone in my business who doesn't have any friends that like to travel, go on vacation, or have fun? So I simply say, well, it takes three things to do that. It takes time, it takes money, and it takes your health. If I can show you how you could have all three, would you be interested? Now, let me just back up on time, money, and health. I want you to think about all the people you know who have all three. You'll be amazed how few people have all three. Young people working have the jobs, have the money, they don't have the time. Older people have the time, they don't have the money, now their health is starting to get shot. What would your life be like if you could have time, money, and health all at the same time at an age when you could really enjoy it? So if I could show you how you could have all three, would you be interested? They say yes. At that point, I hand them my lifestyle card. And on the back of the card is the 45-second presentation. And basically what that is by the time you subtract out the sleeping time, commuting time, working time, things that you have to do each and every day of your life, most people don't have but 1 or 2 hours a day of their lives to do what they like to do, and then would they have the money to do it? We have discovered a way a person can learn how to own their life by building a home-based business. And we have a system for doing it that is so simple Anybody can do it. Doesn't require selling of any sort. And the best part, it won't take much of your time. If you're interested, I'll get you some information. Now, folks, that is the 45-second presentation. And most people, after they hear that, they're interested. And at this point, I would loan them. Note the word loan, because this is a warm market. I would loan them a copy of the 45-second presentation book. Now, why do we do this? Okay, first of all, most people don't understand network marketing. When they read this book, they will understand it. I'll give you a quick history of the book. 10 years before we had this book, we used to do the business the way most of you are doing it right now with a product and vehicle approach, okay? But we did one thing that was different from everybody else, and that was before we would let our new person talk to anyone, we would sit down with them, and this would take 3 to 4 hours, and teach them what became known as the napkin presentations. Now, napkin, because we'd be in a restaurant, we'd grab a napkin, sketch things out for them. Once the person knew and understood the napkin presentations, we said now they understood network marketing, and then we coined the phrase and said now they know how to drive. We want people to know how to drive before we show them the vehicle. When I do the seminars on stage, I'll have my lifestyle card in my left hand and the book in my right hand. And I'll say, all you have to do is when you ask the question, if I could show you how you could have all three, would you be interested? They say, yes, I do this, and I put out my left hand with the card, have them read the back of the card. After they read the card, then I do that, which is handing the book to them in my right hand, and I tell them to read the first 4 chapters of the book. Never tell someone to read the book, because it goes on the shelf, they get to it in due time. We tell a person, read the first 4 chapters, and most people, when they finish the first 4 chapters, will go ahead and finish the book right on the spot. And now what do you have? You have someone who wants something, you have someone who understands network marketing, they know how to drive, now they need the vehicle. And let me tell you, you can personally get on any vehicle, whatever vehicle you're on, because we have people on the call from many, many different companies. It's whatever vehicle you show them at this point, they will get on. See, the general population out there, they're not looking to get into network marketing. They get into network marketing with the company that their friend tells them about. And if you do this properly, you teach them how to drive first, and then you share the vehicle. And how do you share the vehicle? I mean, today's modern technology, you send them to your website. Have them go through the website and tell them when they get through with the website, get back to you, and you'll answer all their questions. Now, we have fun when we do the seminar on stage. I tell people they can practice their presentation before they go to bed at night. Now, first of all, remember, the only thing a person needs to know to start sponsoring and building a business is ask a friend, do you have any friends who like to travel, go on vacation? You know, it takes 3 things, time, money, and health. If I could show you how you could have all 3, would you be interested? Then you do this with the lifestyle card, you do that with the book. If you can learn to do what I just did right there and teach your people to do that, you can build a business. So when I'm on stage, I tell people you can practice the presentation before you go to bed at night. So all you have to do is stand there and you do this, and then you do that. You do this, and then you do that. See, because if you can teach someone to do this, you can teach them to do that, you can build a business. Okay, now what about cold market? People you don't know. First of all, let me tell you what will not work. If you were to go down to your local mall with 100 books and stand there, and when total strangers come by, say to them, excuse me, can I ask you a question? Do you have any friends like to travel, go on vacation? Well, you know, it takes 3 things, time, money, and health. If I could show you how you could have all 3, would be interested. You do this, then you give them the book. Now, notice I said you give them the book. You don't loan them the book, you give it to them. You will never see it again. That does not work. Probably of all the years we've been in the industry, the thing that Nancy and I come up as being the most important thing you can do when talking with a prospect or anybody, you've got to make a connection with the person before you start the process. So we have what's called a prospecting website. And this is a bridge between meeting a stranger and loaning them the book. For example, you're at a social gathering. You ask someone what they do. They tell you. They ask you what you do. We say we're lifestyle trainers. We teach people how to have a better life. And at that point, I say, here's my card, my lifestyle card. We don't call them business cards. They're lifestyle cards. And you've got a choice of 5 different cards. My card has a picture of a cruise ship on it. Nancy has a couple chairs. There's 3 other choices. I hand them the card. I tell them, when you have a minute, read the back of the card. And when you get home, the next time you're on your computer, check out our website. Now, the prospecting website, when they open it up, they're first going to hear the 45-second presentation, and then you write your own story about yourself. And when you do this, don't mention the name of your company, because we don't want to get ahead to the vehicle before they've read the book and know how to drive. And then it ends up with a survey form. When they fill the survey form out and hit the submit button, you get all their information. Plus, they, right on the spot, get the first 3 chapters of the 45-second presentation book for free. So when you get that survey form, then you call this person. You don't just start pitching your program as soon as you get them on the phone. Take 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes, until you feel like you've made a connection with the person. Then I would say to the person, say the person's name is Bill. I'd say, Bill, I want to ask you a few questions to see if this would be something you could do. Okay, is that fair enough? He says yes. That's 1 yes. Count the yeses. Could you see yourself asking your friends if they know anybody that likes to travel and go on vacation? He says yes. Second yes. Could you see yourself telling them it takes 3 things: time, money, and health? He says yes. Now you got the third yes. Could you see yourself saying to them then, if I could show you how you could have all 3, would you be interested? You have another yes. So at this point, all you have to do is tell them, look, based on how you answer these questions, there's no question in my mind that you can do this business. We let the tools do the talking. That's why I just said there is all you need to know, because the tools now will take over, do all the talking for you. I would like to send you first the most important tool, and that's a book called The 45-Second Presentation That Will Change Your Life. And I'd like you to read the first 4 chapters. In fact, when you fill out the survey, you can get the first 3 chapters, but I would like to send you the book so you can get the whole book. What's your street mailing address? Okay, folks, when they give that to you, they're just telling you they're interested. Because if they're not interested, they're going to say, well, no, I don't need to give you my address. I'm not interested. So that's how you work with your cold market. And Nancy will give you a little example, too, on how this works in her presentation when we were on an airplane flying to Florida. The prospecting website is a bridge between meeting a stranger and loaning of a book. Anyway, I enjoyed being with you on the call today, and I'm going to turn this over to Nancy, and she has some words of wisdom also. Talk to you soon.
In network marketing, you have the opportunity to live the life you dream about. The hardest thing for me in network marketing is that I want this networking lifestyle more for people than they want it themselves, because maybe they've never experienced that kind of opportunity. You see, it's all timing with people. I never give up on anyone, but as Don has always taught me, you got to spend your time with the people that really want to do it. But you never know when something might happen in their life, because people are watching you. You've planted a seed. You see, many people today are looking for a way to have a better quality of life. Things aren't real easy for a lot of people out there. So I have to ask you, what would your life look like if time, money, and your health were no problem? For a lot of people, they would probably like to have a better life. And there are a lot of people that I come in contact along the way of life that would love a better opportunity. I was on a flight. We were heading to Florida. I went up to the restroom. Once I got out of the restroom, I stood over in the galley because the flight attendant and the sky marshal, they were having their lunch. So I was just standing there, and the flight attendant said, well, may I help you? May I get you something? I said, oh, no, I'm just fine stretching my legs, but I got to ask you, is there something I can get you? And she looked at me and she said, yes, lots of money. And I said, well, I can do that. So I shared my lifestyle card with her. I said, read the back when you have a chance. That's the 45-second presentation. And check out my website. And if you look like you might be interested, then just fill out the survey form and I'll get back in touch with you. And see, that's what's so exciting about this business is that you can use the tool. You really don't have to know anything. You just need to have your lifestyle tool, and you need your PIN, and your card, and you're all set to go. Just like in New York, I met this woman. She came to one of our trainings. She was a banker, made a lot of money, over $100,000 a year. She came to our seminar, realized that she couldn't keep doing this the rest of her life. She wanted to have a family, but she had no time. She didn't have time to have a relationship. She had to rush off because she had to leave for Chicago at 6 o'clock in the morning. So she got the vision of what network marketing could do for her. And she knew that she could make more money part-time from her network marketing business than she could spending all of her time being a bank executive. You see, more and more executive-type women and men are getting this. They are getting the vision that things are a whole lot easier. There is an alternative lifestyle, and with the tools, it's really fun. What about the woman on the cruise ship? We were on a cruise a couple of months ago, and I overheard this woman talking to another woman saying that she just retired from her job, and she was so bored. She didn't have anything she could do. And I thought, oh, my word, I can't even finish my dinner. I got to go over and help these ladies. So I gave them each one of my lifestyle cards. They noticed my Own Your Life pin. The one woman said, well, can you do this anywhere? I said, oh, yes, networking companies, many of them are totally international. You can do it anywhere you like. She was so excited. Then again, there was my lifestyle card. I said, read the back of the card, that's the 45, and go to the website. So all you need are these tools that get you moving in the right direction. I was sitting at the mall. We've been shopping all day, and I was just having some lemonade, and I was sitting next to a woman and her son. I said, you look like you've been shopping all day, too. And she said, yes, we're getting school clothes for our son here. And she said, I'm a teacher. And I said, oh, I bet you really enjoy having your summers off. She said, oh, I love having the summers off. I said, well, how would you like to have your whole year off? And she says, well, how do I do that? So all I did was share the lifestyle card with her again. So you can just be planting these seeds all the time. Now, people aren't just going to maybe jump up right away, but you never know who they might know. I mean, this is a referral marketing business, too. And everybody knows somebody who needs some extra income. Or maybe they're losing their job, or the timing of their life isn't going real well. What we're trying to get here is so a person can have some balance in their life. Most people are totally out of balance. All they're doing is working all the time. They're working boring dead-end jobs. They're not getting paid for what they're worth. Many people are working under fear and intimidation. There is a better way to do things. There is an alternative lifestyle. We want people to be able to go where they want to go, when they want to go, with whom they want to go, and to wear what they want to wear. My husband wears a Hawaiian shirt everywhere he goes. He's extremely memorable, especially in a snowy country. See, so you can be your own person. I like that. Women are wonderful in network marketing. They are at the top of all these network marketing companies. I mean, this is a teaching and a nurturing opportunity. This is a caring and sharing, helping people opportunity. I mean, women are absolutely wonderful in this because we spend our entire life teaching our children and our grandchildren, being the friends and aunts and grandmothers, mothers of the world. I mean, this is an exciting time for women, to say the least. Time is our most limited and precious resource. We all have the same 24 hours, but it's the choices that we make in life. So I say it's time to make a choice to have a better life. People are tired of job time. A lot of people can't even find a job or even want a job. I say that's great. It's time to get into entrepreneurial time. It's time to get into network marketing time. And what's so great is that you can do this right along with whatever else you're doing on an extremely part-time basis. Don always says, just do a little bit every day. whatever that might be. And pretty soon, things start going faster and faster and multiplying, and you'll be amazed how fast things are going. So I tell you all to get started today. Help the people that you really love and care about, because it's really fun to be free. And that's what you want to be able to share with people, is this opportunity to have some financial freedom. The bottom line is to be successful in your networking business, you are always ready to meet new people. You wear your life in, and you have your lifestyle cards ready at all times throughout your day. People are going to pop into your life. It's just your life. It's not like you're out looking. It just happens. So you have to learn to ask some questions. And most importantly, you got to listen to the answers. You're looking for people that want something. That's all I ever look for. That's all Donna's ever looking for. Because we know we've got the best gift in the world to be able to give them. That's what I like about networking, is that you never know where your next best friend is going to be. It's just waiting there for you to meet them. So keep it simple, like I said. It's so much fun to have a better life and to be able to share it with people. When you're caring and committed and you've got some passion, our mission is to be able to help as many people as we can have a better quality of life. So I always say, see it, live it, and share it. And you're on your way to a whole lot better life. I'm going to turn this back to Paul, so if you have any questions or answers to anything, we're here to be able to be of help to you.
We appreciate the call. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of where you can get some of these items that Don and Nancy have been talking about. You've heard them talking about lifestyle cards. You've heard them talking about the 45-second presentation book. You've heard them talking about the website, the IOwnMyLife.net website that they're using. All of these are available by going to www.45secondtools.com, the number 45secondtools.com. Let's get to the first question. You're on with Don Failla. What's your question?
Hi, Don Failla. This is Rosalind from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm actually very curious about this system. So your system is just showing the book, right?
Well, the system basically, starts off with making a contact and a friend, having a conversation to find out if they want something. Then the system is 3 steps. Starts with showing them the lifestyle card so they can read the 45-second presentation, then loaning them the book, and after they've read the book, sending them to your website. That's the whole system.
Great. Thanks for that question. We're going to go on to the next question.
Thank you so very much for this excellent presentation. I was wondering what specifically you have on the back of your card?
I went through it. It's the 45-second presentation.
Basically, on the back, there's about 2 paragraphs. You can get the lifestyle cards on 45secondtools.com. It has it printed right on the back, so you don't even have to worry about it if you get your lifestyle cards from that 45secondtools.com. But here's the presentation that's on there. It says, this is what I think it means to own your life. When you subtract out the sleeping time, commuting time, working time, and time for things you have to do each and every day of your life, most people don't have more than 1 to 2 hours each day to do what they'd like to do, and then they have the money to do it. We've discovered a way for you to learn how to own your life by building a home-based business, and we have a system for doing it that is so simple, anybody can do it. It doesn't require selling, and the best part is it won't take much of your time. That right there is the 45-second presentations that's printed on the back of their cards.
Incidentally, we call it that because it takes 45 seconds in normal speech pattern. But when you actually hand the card to someone, they read it. People can read it in 30 seconds. This totally eliminates the objection we get, the excuse people saying that I don't have time.
Great. So let's go ahead and open up the next question.
Jeff from Aldi, a great presentation, you guys. Hey, this is a 2-part question. Don, did I hear you correctly when you said that the first 3 chapters are on the website if you purchase it? And in the second part of that, I'm disabled. I can't run around too good in collecting books, or getting the people to loan them out. Have you ever considered, having a website that presents all the napkin presentations that are in the book so it can be sent and charging a monthly fee for that? So again, thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay, give a 2-part answer. I'll do one and then Paul can do the other. First of all, once you have the website, your prospects, when they hit the submit button, they get the first 3 chapters free. So you could go out to literally hundreds of people and give away the first 3 chapters free. I'm going to let Paul tell you about your second part.
Yeah, the second part of that, and Jeff and I appreciate that, the napkin presentations will be available in video format on the website, and you will be able to present that either directly on your website, or you'll have the option of forwarding the napkin presentations in video format together with other video material from Don and Nancy in an email format. You'll also be able to track that and be able to know what they watch, when they watch, how much they watch. So appreciate the comment. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Go ahead, you're on.
Thank you. This is Diane, Florida. And you had said about giving them the book and then sending them to your site. Now, at that point, do you send them to your product site, or are you still sending them to the 45-second presentation site?
Okay, good question. First of all, I didn't say you give them the book in your warm market, you loan them the book because they're a friend. If they don't come in the business, you can get the book back. Once they've read the book, you send them to your company's website telling about your company, products, marketing plan, and then after that, they get back to you with some questions.
I think the big difference there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Don, your company website would be used following them having read the 45-second presentation book. Where the IOwnMyLife.net replicating website comes into play is a bridge between that contact, the initial contact and handing them the lifestyle card and getting them the book. So, for example, you're giving them the lifestyle presentation. You say, hey, here's my lifestyle card. Read the back and then visit this website that's on the card. Well, the website he's referring them to is the IOwnMyLife.net site, where then they go in, they can read more about Don and Nancy. They fill out the survey, and then that's when Don and Nancy would get back to them. They would build that relationship up, get to know them more, and then they would loan them that book. And I love that word loan, because we're all interested in saving our money, and no sense going out and buying a ton of books and just giving them away. Better to loan them. After they've read, you tell them to read the first 4 chapters, more than likely they'll read the whole thing, but if you tell them to read the first 4 chapters, after they do that, then that's when you send them to your corporate website or hand them some literature or something.
When they come into the business, then we let them keep the book.
There you go. In fact, Don, you give 2 books, right?
Yeah,
everybody that
we do. Everybody that we personally sponsor, we will give them, when they personally sponsor someone that goes on auto ship, we will give our new person 2 books every time they do that.
Great. Let's go on to the next question. We've got lots coming in. That was a great question. Appreciate it. Here's the next one. Go ahead when you're ready.
Hi. Thank you so much for offering the web-based books, the ebooks, and everything. I've been praying that you would do that. Thank you. My question is, I know that you had been in business before developing the 45-second presentation. My question is, you probably started off using products, selling the products, promoting the products before you started this. How does that method compare to what you're doing now by presenting not the opportunity, but the information about network marketing? And
okay, well, understand that this has all evolved over many years. That 10 years prior to having the book, we used to do a product vehicle approach, but we would not let our people talk to anyone until we could sit down with them and teach them the napkin presentation. So it has evolved around to leading in with network marketing, understanding the business, teaching a person how to drive before you show them the vehicle. Thank you for the question.
Great. Let's go ahead to the next one really quick. Just moving right along. Go ahead.
Hello, Don. This is Rob and Christine from Aruna Key in Oregon. Thank you so much for the call. Our question is around training, and when you're showing them the vehicle, you said you send them to the website. Do you do a sit-down one-on-one training as well after that?
No, we just have civil sessions with people. We either on the phone. We like all of the people to get all of their people on Skype, because we can get 25 people on Skype at the same time, talk for as long as we want for free and share ideas. But as far as having a specific training on the products and the company, I don't know why you need to do that, because it's all on the website. But thank you for the question.
Great. Going on to the next question here really quick. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Don. My name is Sheila. I just wanted to know the part where you presented the script on, do you know anyone who likes to travel and go on vacations, da-da-da-da. Would that be found in your 45-second presentation, or is that in your book? Or
No, that's an excellent question. We do have a book called The System. And this book just goes from A to Z on working the system, war market, then it has a special chapter on the coal market, and just the words that I used in my presentation are all in that book. It's just everything, word for word. Thanks for the question.
Going on to the next question here really quick. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Wanda from Arizona. I don't understand in network marketing why, if you have your original 4 and 5 people and you're helping their friends and their friends, why do you keep prospecting new people?
We don't. We don't go out looking for people. We haven't done that in probably, 20 years. I mean, you meet people while you're working with the people you already have. You know, if you're out looking for people, this is real tough business. If I want to meet a new person, I go work with someone we already have and meet someone they already know. Thanks for the question. That was a good one.
This has been Don and Nancy Failla on the phone with us today, and we've been talking about the system. And the system refers to the system that Don and Nancy have used to build their organization of 800,000 people, starting from just 4. The content or the material that was presented in this presentation can be found in the book called The System. And that book, along with several other products by Don and Nancy Failla, can be found on their website, which is www.45, the number 4 and the number 5, secondtools.com, www.45secondtools.com.